dance for joy or lust or anger and everything.
So welcome to Slightly Shambolic SMMT Reviews, the series where we take a brand new car at the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders test day, have under half an hour to do an entire review and make an absolute hash of it. So this is a 2025 Nissan X-Trail. This is the 1.5 e-Power e4Force Tekna model. But is it any good? Should you care? Let's find out, shall we? So the T33 generation of X-Trail was launched in 2022 in this country. I believe it's actually due a facelift, but this is a pre-facelift car. This one costs, I think it's about £45,000. The range starts at about £36,000. And all of them use this 1.5 three-cylinder engine, which develops 163 horsepower in the VC turbo model, which is a mild hybrid, 204 horsepower in the normal e-Power model, which has front-wheel drive, and then in this four-wheel drive model, which is called the e4Force, it develops about 213 horsepower. In this particular generation, there are no diesels available, so we don't need to make our usual disclaimer about the channel. The bumps in this drive at Combe Abbey, which is where the SMMT live day is happening, are a very good indication of the car's suspension. It's also very annoying that essentially we can't go very fast until we get out of this driveway. But nevertheless, that's fine. 0 to 60 times of these cars do actually vary somewhat. This particular one is quite fast. 0 to 60, it's something like 7 seconds, which I'll be testing in a few minutes. But there we go. So far, very comfortable. Electric seats, electric everything. I'm going to put this in the e-Power, as the e-pedal mode, which means I don't really need to brake because it will bring me to a stop. This Ford Ranger in front of me will be my sort of guinea pig to see if anything happens. No, you don't need to use the brakes at all. In fact, I've got a dial on here which is showing me my regen, which is nice. So we'll see if this car is quick coming out here. Remember, we've got all-wheel drive. It is a bit wet and slippery. Oh, no drama at all, and actually no engine note. Nothing at all. So I'm accelerating nice and briskly, going up to about 50 miles per hour, and just absolutely no drama. And now the e-pedal system is trying to slow me down very, very rapidly. We might have to turn that off in a second, viewers. Well, there we go. It slowed me down for the corner. Now, I do not need to use the brakes. I'm actually going to turn this off because I don't need such forceful regen. But that's really useful. I quite like that, viewers. It feels actually a lot swifter to drive. It's a big, heavy car. And it feels actually reasonably nimble, which is amazing for something like this. Let's put it in the EV mode so we can have a little bit of emissions-free driving. Oh, EV mode unavailable. Maybe if I put it on e-pedal and EV, so we can have both. Oh wow, that's really weird. That's so silent. Crazy. Yeah. So can we have... We're back in the EV mode now, without the e-pedal on. I'm actually quite impressed with the way this car drives. It's so big and massive. You sort of think it wouldn't drive like this, but it does. It's actually cornering really flat. That's actually really impressive, viewers. Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised at the way this car drives. I didn't expect it to be anything like this. Let's put e-pedal back on so we can slow down. I'm going to turn around and we're going to come back. It's not ideal, but I've had to sort of park in this very awkward place to film around the car because for some reason the car park that we thought we'd be using, there's no space in it, but never mind. So here we have the lovely e-Power version of the X-Trail. Now this is actually also the e4Force version, which has all-wheel drive, and it's quite nippy actually. You can see it says e4Force and e-Power on the back. Don't know why you need all these badges, but there we go. This car's got the optional roof rails on it as well. One thing I don't like about the car is every time I get in and out of it, it just keeps locking the doors. I don't want the doors to lock every time I go in and out. I just want them to lock when I want them to. But never mind. It's very spacious. We'll just open the boot. The boot is absolutely vast on this thing. It's not so big if you've got the 7-seater model. We'll actually just use this. You've got powered tailgate. There we go. So we've actually got 7 seats on this. You can get them with 5. This has the 7. The boot's very, very small though if you put all the seats up. It's going to take a considerable amount of time to fiddle around with this shelf, so I'm going to try to put these rear seats up. Also, I will try to get in the back as well, but that could be very difficult. I gather they're quite small. So we're going to have to move this parcel shelf, a low blind thing, out of the way. You can see we've got little tools in here. There's no room for a spare anywhere. I can't see how you get one in here, to be honest. So we need to move this thing out of the way, and then we will try to get at least one of these rear seats up. Right, one thing I couldn't find in here is anywhere to put this low blind when I'm not using it. I can't quite find anywhere. Hopefully it would go under there, but I don't think it does, which is a shame because that's what you're going to lose. So I'm just going to go round this side, and we will get in. Now you can see you can slide these seats forward and things, but this is going to be as awkward as anything. Wow. Okay, viewers, Mr. Manning from the Matty's Cars channel requires that I access all seats in any car, and this is what we're going to do. Oh my gosh. Oh dear, that's bad. Oh wow. Oh, cool. Headroom's not good. These seats are not suitable for adults, not at all. You can see where my knees are, and if that seat goes back, I'm not even sure I can actually put that up. And I'll try. But that's for someone who's literally got no legs. Right, viewers, we're going to put this rear seat back in the floor, and we will continue. We'll put the low blind back in, and that's what we're going to do. I don't think necessarily, if you're comparing this to, say, a Hyundai Santa Fe, you're probably going to find that's a lot bigger in the back row than this is. Let me get out of here. Oh my gosh, viewers. Oh my golly gosh, that was bad. This is easy to sort of fold the seats in, and you've got some cup holders, but I don't know who'd be using those. I'm going to put this low blind back on and we'll continue. So if we're not using those rear seats for people who don't really have any legs, we can put that in place. That's quite neat, isn't it? I like the fact it's a white low blind, although that might not stay that way if you're going to be using this car extensively. The space in here is almost sort of 700 litres. It's absolutely huge. There we go. So if I climb in this side, the middle row, which is where you're probably going to want to spend time as opposed to in that back row, what's it like? Well, in this car we've got this panoramic sunroof. We'll move that blind back in a sec. Just want to climb the seat slightly. I think that's what we need to do. Right, let's get in here. Yeah, much better in here. I mean, I have to adjust the seat a little bit to make it go back any better. There we go. That's better, viewers. We've got USB-C ports in here. You've got climate control operation. We've got multi-stage heated seats. You've got little vents in here. You've got bottle holders in the door bins. We've got little blinds in there. Someone's actually really thought quite extensively about how a family might use a car like this, and of course most of these will be bought by families, won't they? The rear seats for occasional child use only. Actually got mat pockets in here. What are these grab handles like? Let's just use this one and see if you've got damped grab handles. Sort of. Do we get an armrest in here? Yes, actually we do. Now I'm gonna have to fiddle around with this to get it down, but I think we can. Pull this. No, hang on a second, ears. Okay, so you can actually get this down. I just didn't pull it hard enough. So we've got some cup holders in here. That's for putting a phone in that way up and vertically. Moves back like this. So yeah, it's very nice in 5-seater mode. You can just get a 5-seater model in case you get more space in the boot. So yeah, so all very good so far. Masses of headroom, nice, relatively flat floor. Even if you're a middle passenger, it'd be fine. Yeah, why not? Let's get in the front. Okay, the car's not trying to lock me out this time, which is good. In we get. Oh gosh, it's like a massive armchair. The seat actually does go backwards when you get out. It's all automatic and everything. So if I were to switch the car on, which I'm going to do now, see the seat is moving me forwards. There we go. Yeah. So we've got the e-Power e4Force model here, so we haven't got a differential rev count, we've got like a power reserve gauge type thing. Interesting, in this car, the engine doesn't directly drive the wheels. It's a bit like a generator. So when you drive it, the engine revs, which is sort of in the background, they're not necessarily matching the speed you're going or anything, which is weird. One thing I've noticed straight away is that we've got a wireless charging pad down here, but we've also got USB-C and USB port and a 12-volt socket. We've got all options possible here. Brilliant. We've got parking cameras. We've also got an e-pedal motors here, like in an old Leaf, which is interesting. That's the gear selector there. Automatic handbrake, got driving mode selector here. We've actually got a physical drive mode selector and physical buttons in here, which I'm a big fan of, viewers. Can we get this blind back a bit? Is it this one here? Yes! Excellent, that's what we should have done earlier on, isn't it, viewers? Can we go further? Yes! Excellent, we'll be driving around like that. That's what we'll be doing. Okay, so we're going to have to look at this screen quickly. Now, I don't want to fiddle around too much. This reminds me of a screen on the old J11 Qashqai, actually, this. So we've got sat nav, we've got all kinds of things. Now I reckon most of you, when you be using the car, will be using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You won't necessarily be using the built-in Nissan system, which it's not the biggest screen I've ever seen. It's absolutely fine, but you know, how big do you need it particularly? So I will close the door in a second and we'll have a bit more of a look at this. So this is the 12.3 inch screen in here, this particular car, and you actually could get, until quite recently, a model which didn't have a touchscreen at all. It was called the Vizia. Now that's something we discontinued, but you could get one without a touchscreen, which is very unusual in a big car like this these days. In fact, the lower specification cars, which are a lot less expensive than something like this e4Force model here, which has all-wheel drive, they're not as well equipped as you might imagine, but obviously the price is lower than some of these other cars, so that's probably what it is. I've just actually looked up here the figures for the boot space. Now on the more basic model, which just has a mild hybrid system, the VC Turbo, the boot's 585 litres, with the normal e-Power, 5-seat e-Power, 575, and then on this car, which has 7 seats, it's 485, and then if you put the seats up in the back, all of them, then you only have 120 litres, which isn't so big. So yes, got cup holders aplenty. We've got massive cup holders in here. We've got a big centre cubby in here. We've got door bins aplenty and all kinds of things. Do we have the power folding mirrors? Yes, we do. Excellent. What I like actually is that, again, in comparison with a lot of other modern cars, we don't have nasty touch buttons on the steering wheel or here. They're all kind of physical buttons, and I'm very thankful to Nissan for doing that. Let's see if my secret mission documents fit in there. I somehow don't think they will, but I will give it a try anyway. That's a no. Never mind, can we go in the door? Oh. Yes, we can. Excellent. So we go through the cameras on here. Yeah, we've got all sorts of cameras. We've got surround cameras, and also I've got a front view camera here and a rear view. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, there we go. We can cycle through the cameras by using this button. Again, we don't have to use the touchscreen to do that. Now that is fabulous as far as I'm concerned. Right, so we can scroll through various options, Alexa apps and all this sort of thing. I don't want to spend too long doing that, viewers, to be honest. And then got sort of cruise control settings, and one thing I want to find out is how to get this display various things. Is this actually doing anything? If we start the car, will that make a difference? Ooh, that's all fancy. Look at all that. So I think we're ready actually now. It's ready to move. I'm not going to because I've not got my seatbelt on the thing. Let's see if we can actually do anything else on this screen. Oh, there we go. We can go through all sorts of different things. Wow, okay. Brilliant. Looks like we've got all the information that we sort of will need, and we can scroll through whatever we need to scroll through. Tyre pressure monitoring, sat nav. There we go. There's the average fuel economy, which actually is better than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be worse than that. I've heard that the e-Power e4Force version is not that economical actually, which might be a lie. I don't know. Possibly that's the case. So yeah, so far so good. Just turn that off again. It's a nice little chime, doesn't it? Whilst we're here, why don't we have a look under the bonnet and have a look at this 1.5 engine, because it's actually a 3-cylinder under there. This is the most powerful version of the 1.5. I think it's about 215 horsepower in the e4Force model. All of them have this 1.5 engine now. It's a 3-cylinder unit, which is incredible for a car this size to use a 3-cylinder engine. But of course it's got the interesting hybrid system, the e-Power system on this, so it's not maybe as sort of crazy as you would think. Big imposing car, isn't it? Big and sort of very, very distinctive, I think, like this. Yeah, I've got all kinds of interesting details at the front. The only thing is, it's just like a lot of modern sort of cars, like a cliff face at the front like this. So if you were to hit a pedestrian, it probably wouldn't go too well for them. So just maybe stop that. Obviously, it's got all sorts of ADAS systems in it to stop that happening. But yeah, you just don't want to think about that. Anyway, let's have a drive, shall we, Viz? Right, viewers. So it's very, very comfortable, this. It's very relaxing. I like the way we've got physical buttons on the steering wheel. We've got physical climate controls. We've got even physical buttons up here for changing the different cameras and things like that. It's actually quite a sensibly thought out car, this. I don't know what the facelift will do when the facelift comes in, but I think this is, yeah, it's really good actually having a head-up display as well, which shows me that I'm not speeding. I love this e-pedal. It's just brilliant. I love this e-pedal mode. It was introduced, I think, on the Leaf many years ago, and to have this in this particular car, which feels a bit like an electric car to drive, to be honest, because you get a lot of torque. The engine's just acting as a generator. It's not got a direct connection to what's going on with the wheels. It does feel like driving an electric car, but you just put normal fuel in it. Is it effectively just a hybrid? It's not a plug-in hybrid or anything. Oh gosh, it's got a speed warning now. I must have got a 1 mile an hour over the speed limit. Aren't I a naughty, naughty person? Let's look at some trim levels now on the X-Trail. So the Ascenta Premium, the N Connector, the N Track, the Tekna Plus, and the Vizia. So we've got actually the 0 to 60 time of this car is 7 seconds, which is absolutely crazy, and a 1,800 kilogram towing capacity, which is quite rare these days, actually. So viewers, should you consider a Nissan X-Trail, this T33 model in particular? Well, I don't see why not. I mean, it is quite expensive. This car is sort of approaching the sort of £50,000 mark in terms of the specification. So not the cheapest thing, but then nothing seems to be cheap these days if you're looking for a seven-seater, or in this case, car with a 7-seat option. So if I get ever so much and do you want to go for watching, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again soon for some more incredibly rushed and pretty rubbish reviews.